people yelling, fuck the system. Well, I already did that like an old flame. I was sent to Earth with a mission. But first I gotta work through all the old pain, work through all the traumas that affected. My mind, body, spirit is connected. I'm tryna feel good, it's time to heal good. I'm tryna feel good, it's time to heal good. I'm tryna heal.
What's up? It's Mackenta.
And I'm Tabisha.
And this is Heal Good, a space where we take healing into our own hands.
Because we know if you want to feel good,
you gotta heal good. It's been a minute. We are back with season 2. We took some time just to recalibrate, to recharge. We were really just focused on realignment. That's what we wanted to talk about. The definition of alignment is to bring into line or cue. But from like a spiritual perspective, when we talk about alignment, it's really just understanding that we are energy. Everything is energy. And so when we're aligning, it's about getting on the frequency of what we want to bring into our life. When we're setting intentions and when we're setting goals, it's important to make sure that they are in alignment with your values. It sounds obvious, but it's not always that obvious when it's happening, you know.
I feel like alignment is also it's a place where intention and action meet. I feel like just getting really clear about what that is and then executing it. Like you said, it's hard to realize when you're in it sometimes, but taking a moment to just kind of recalibrate your wins, your lessons, because there's no losses, and seeing how to move forward with the experience.
It's good to have like checkpoints of where you're at. Like a lot of people set goals in January and now we're halfway through the year already. Like it just flew by, and it's about looking back and did you write down any goals? Like where are you in terms of your goals? And with that, it's about, you know, being accountable, but also not being hard on yourself, because the way the world is, there's so many unexpected things. There's so many really intense energies that it's okay if you got off track. It's about taking accountability to get back on track, and or just seeing if those goals that you made, are they still in alignment, and being compassionate with yourself. Like there's so much hustle culture, but yeah, you could be a hustler, but be compassionate.
Exactly, yeah.
With yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Getting realistic, but also remaining flexible for the next stage and whatever you're trying to execute, I feel like is so important, because you can just kind of be discouraged by like realizing, oh, I haven't completed XYZ by this time, or it's not done yet. But it's also just an opportunity for you to just readjust and leaving room for spirit, you know,
leaving room for the miracles to happen. Because sometimes things don't happen on your time because there was a few things that need to happen first. It doesn't mean that it's not happening for you just because it's not happening when you thought. So it's definitely a balance of that action, but also the surrender. And then one thing that has been helping me lately is reminding myself I need to be very clear on the what. I don't need to know the how, which is very hard to like release sometimes. It's like you may want something, you're like, how am I going to do this? You know, one of my biggest values is being at peace. So being at peace, that doesn't mean everything's always going to be easy, but like if I'm going through a rough time, which I just was going through a very difficult time, just based on changes in relationships with people close to me and personal things in my life, where I just had to, knowing my intention is peace. Okay, well, how can I find peace in a difficult situation? Where can I find like the little moments of peace? Doesn't mean that everything's going to be peaceful, but like how can you bring your values and your intentions into whatever's going on, even things that seem outside of your control? How to take control of what you can control. A great way to do this is to like get out a pen and paper. Maybe you have like a manifestation journal or just any piece of paper will do. And you can either draw a circle or you can draw a chart, however your brain works that makes it easier for you. You get fun markers to do this, and divide the circle or divide the chart into categories. So one category for emotional well-being, one category for physical well-being, spiritual, financial, mental, and creative. So do a little like check-in with yourself. So emotional. How do you feel? That's like the first place I think to start is like, how do you feel? How are you feeling? Just write the first thing that like comes up for you. And then, okay. And then how do you want to feel? If you were living your most ideal life, how would that feel? And then write that down too. And then so that's like your intention. And then what's a goal that can be connected to that intention?
Now, I guess in the financial category, what exactly, how are your finances looking? This is something that could be uncomfortable, especially during the times that we're in right now, but just getting realistic about what you have and how you can get more of what you need, sustain the lifestyle that you want. I feel like it's important to just see how that's looking and then make adjustments.
So maybe in the new year you said, I'm going to meditate every day, and it's been months since you've meditated. That's okay. These are habits that take a while to really set in, and maybe sometimes you make goals that are a little bit overwhelming. And so instead of saying that, you could say, I'm going to meditate every day. Start by saying, I'll meditate once a week. And why do I want to do that? Because I want to feel peace. I'm working towards releasing my anxiety. And the reason why it really helps to write things down is because sometimes you think like, oh, I could just think about that. But writing it down, spelling it out is a spell. That's what creates clarity. It's easy to say in your mind, oh, yeah, I'm doing that. When you write it down, that's when the facts come out.
Exactly. And now a physical standpoint, did you have physical goals that you were trying to achieve? Fitness goals? Again, that's why I feel like in every category you can I've kind of been thinking about just getting realistic, but also remaining flexible. Because say if you're trying to start a new fitness regimen, at the beginning of the year, that's what everyone is trying to do. All right, this is my end goal. This is what it is. Whether it's a weight loss journey, weight gain journey, whatever it is, and then you can kind of become defeated when you haven't reached those goals. But it's like, how are you being realistic about those goals that you're trying to achieve? If you're like, I'm gonna be working out 7 days a week, stop right there. If you haven't even really, if this is your first time embarking on a journey like that, I feel like it's just important to get realistic about how you can really start to be consistent with that journey for yourself.
And I feel like physically, I know for myself, sometimes there's a huge disconnect because maybe my goal is I want to fit into this dress that I haven't fit into. But
short-term goals too. That's a really...
Yeah, but it's like, okay, that's my goal. But then I say to myself, oh, my intention is to feel good. It's to feel strong. But then I'm only thinking about fitting into this dress.
Yeah.
Okay, so am I approaching my goals with my intentions? Like, because my intention is to have more energy, to feel good about my body. So maybe that doesn't connect to being a certain weight on the scale. And it's actually easier for me to approach it when I'm not looking at it that way. I'm focusing on the process. I want to enjoy. I want to notice myself getting stronger. I want to enjoy the workout. Or, say mentally, maybe I want to acquire certain knowledge. Okay, so how can I break that down into like a baby step of like, maybe I'll read a page every day instead of saying I was supposed to read 35 books. And
a book a week. Stop.
And but
some people could do it. That's awesome. But I mean, if you're trying to get yourself into the habit, it's important to just like start slow and then.
And just baby steps especially when you're looking at your whole, because this is a very holistic view. Like a lot of times when it's goal setting, it's just like financial or career. But you can make, if there's extra categories that you're like, oh, well, my goals are in this category, create that, but make sure you're looking at a whole picture of your life, because that's how you keep things in balance. And the baby steps stops it from being overwhelming. When if your goal in general is to have a balanced life, then in each category you got to make sure, is one category taking over my whole life, or is there balance? Maybe you never before have made emotional goals. Most people don't. I would say most people don't make a goal of around their emotions, because it feels like not very concrete. But that's where the intention comes in, and then if that's your intention, then you can see, okay, what steps can I take? And it's okay to adjust and realign when you're doing something. Okay, that didn't work. What's a better way I can do it?
Remaining flexible. I feel like once you realize the schedule that you've tried to follow for yourself isn't working in regards to your new holistic approach, it's okay to like shift it. You don't have to like, that's what I've learned for myself too. I'm like, I don't have to stick to this if it's not working. Like I give myself permission to allow another way to come through so that I can like achieve what I'm trying to work towards, you know?
And the emphasis on intention again is also the feeling, because one huge thing about alignment is you have to be in alignment with what you want. So if you say you want wealth, but you're constantly saying rich people are evil, there's never enough, I'm always broke, if that's like consuming you, you're not in alignment with wealth. And that's okay. Most people aren't, but it's about, okay, instead of like, I just want to be rich, how would I feel if I was rich? It's like, it's that little switch, and then you start feeling that before you're there. That's how to really align. And it is a process. It takes time. I have to do this chart, and I've actually done this for myself and realized, like, at first I'm like, there's things that I wanted to do that I haven't done, and then just forgiving myself and actually being proud of myself for checking in, because I could have just let my goals go and never follow up with them again. So just accept where you're at. Accept where you're at.
And take your time. Take your time. This is one thing that I've been really trying to like, one advice I've been trying to really take myself, but realizing that it's okay to take my time and, you know, get off the treadmill when you need to. A life's work. A life's work. It's not a race. So just take your time and you'll know what that feels like. And I feel like that's what we've been doing, especially when it's something that you're really trying to build. From a holistic point of view, anything you're trying to like grow, realizing that it's okay to just move at your own pace.
The time's gonna pass anyway. So, you know, but let it yourself be present as the time's passing. A lot of times it's like, oh, I can't do this goal, it's gonna take me so long. The time's gonna pass regardless. So take the time you need, because otherwise that time will pass, and if you still didn't do it, it can make you feel worse. We have the Starseed Oracle deck here, and we could pull a card to help give us any extra. If you're listening and you're aligned with this message, then this message is for you. If it resonates, shuffle these cards. What is like a collective message, reassurance that we can have? Ooh! Okay, 2. We got star bathing. It says light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. And we have cracked open, rock bottom, Surrender to the alchemy of life. So I'll just read a little bit about what the Starseed Oracle deck has to say about these cards. Wow, okay, so it's talking about how many starseeds, which is just spiritual beings, have come to Earth at this time to help shift the planet vibrationally, to activate the ancient codes of wisdom that humanity has forgotten. So, yeah, basically this card is about just reconnecting to your own inner wisdom and knowing that you're here for a reason. And as you shift your vibration, you help shift the vibration of the world and activate that to tap into your highest self and get back in alignment. You encourage others to do that. Wow. This is it's through extreme pressure of life's trials that diamonds are cultivated. It's when things are at their darkest that we cultivate proper faith and our light is ignited. It's through crumbling that we can allow our wounds to be alchemized. Let your pain, sorrow, and losses make you, not break you. Let life alchemize your tragedies into gold. And I just feel like intuitively, if someone's listening to this, maybe you had a lot of suffering recently or just in your life in general. And I feel like this card is just reminding you that these things, they weren't to break you down. They're actually to align you. They're just messages to align you to something bigger, which can be so hard to see in the moment. But these cards are actually just really talking about how like your alignment has always been there. You just have to decide what you want to align with. And I don't really know anyone who hasn't been through an immense amount of suffering in these past 2 years. We're shifting, we're transmuting.
It's just also reminding me of the blessings and the lessons, because there are no losses, you know. I feel like that's a term that I've just been really sticking to, blessings and lessons, because yeah, it's shaping you into who you need to be. And it's not, why is this happening to me? It's, why is this happening for me? You know, it could be hard, and when you're moving through certain things to, you know, think about like the why, but it's definitely helpful to just look at it from a perspective of things are shifting for my highest good and for the highest good of everyone around me.
And as soon as you start feeling that, that's you kind of have to start believing it before you can see it, which is the hardest.
And if you ask for that sign too, you'll get it. You'll ask for that. Can I get that boost of faith? Can you just show me that this is like right? You will get the sign when to ask. I feel like that's another thing that's so important. Just like when you're moving through a lot, just asking for that sign, that confirmation that like you're on the right path, because you'll get it. I feel like,
yeah, and believe it when you get it. That has been my biggest challenge in the past 2 years from the things that I've been going through, is not that I haven't been getting signs, I haven't been fully listening or believing that's the sign. Believe the sign when it shows up too.
It pops up and I'm like, nah, that's not it.
Yeah. Well, you know, and then the signs will get louder. And that's sometimes where the crumbling and the suffering happens, because there were signs that you just weren't seeing them as signs. For me, this is for me. There are signs, they whisper, then they talk, then they yell, then they hit you upside the head. Believe that it's not a coincidence, and you'll start seeing those things, those signs showing up, proving to you that you're aligning. So, and the act of even just writing down your intentions, I promise you, that puts things into motion. Very simple, but it really does put things into motion. We are going to look out for our video we're going to be dropping sometime this week, and it's going to be an affirmation video to help you realign or align to the frequency that you want to be at, or align with your goals. And these are affirmations that have been definitely shifting us and helping, and affirmations are a great way to reprogram your mind. So look out for that. And season 2,
what it do?
thank you so much for tuning in. Drop your comments about what do you want to be aligned with? What are you aligning with? Not what you want. What are you aligning with?
What are you aligning with?
Speak it.
Be it. And we'll be here every Wednesday helping you and ourselves heal good.